Well, good afternoon, everyone. Michael Soothing here. Thought today we would talk about a relaxing topic, water gardens. Wouldn't you like to have something like this in your backyard? It's not only aesthetically pleasing, but it's also good for your health, because the more you relax and lower your cortisol levels, the better off you're going to be when it comes to things like preventing cancer, heart disease, things along those lines, or treating serious issues in your life that you already have. Now, the majority of you find it a bit more relaxing and a bit more soothing to do a top-down look when we're going through something like this, a book with pictorials. And so that's how we will do it today. It's pretty hard for me to show you all the pictures and things handheld. So I'm going to reorient the camera and we'll take a look at it in a nice, stable, flat environment and just peruse through the book and comment on some of the scenes. All right? Hold on just one moment while I change I haven't eaten my apple yet. An apple a day helps keep the doctor at bay or keep the doctor away, whichever you prefer. Lately we've been having healthy juice, green juice with kale in it, and carrot juice with stuff in it, but the apples that go into the blender and the bananas make those other juices that are healthy more palatable, you know. That's off topic. Hold on one second. All right, I've improved a little bit on the setup I had last time. I don't have the dark shadows covering everything. Found a better way to set up the lighting, so hopefully this will work a little bit better for you. 150 color photographs. Wow. By the way, I found this book all dusty out in the garage in a bin of extra books I didn't even know I had. I like this. I like the Latin name for this flower. Nymphea. Okay? Nymphea. Here's a lotus flower. Why do I like that name? I don't know. There must be a reason. You figure it out. Okay, here we have a calm, sort of overgrown garden with a pond and a walkway in between. Just don't get so relaxed on the walkway that you fall off. Okay, we don't want you to fall in because there's no railing or anything there. But I really like this. Of course, as an avid fisherman who also loves marine biology, I imagine, bluegills and other types of fish swimming around in this water. I wonder if there's a way I can improve on the reflection problem here. Will it be better like this or like this? That doesn't improve it really on the light reflection. I think we're better. I think we're best like that. There's no way to avoid it really. I think this is about the best we're going to get. So you don't get quite the colors and contrast I'm getting. And maybe if I hold it up like this, but that's going to be a bit awkward. Whenever I have a really good picture, I'll hold it up for you to see the colors better. All right. So this book is a how-to guide on how to make all these ponds and things. Here's all the table contents, how to design it, how to build it. If I was a younger guy, and I had a big fenced-in backyard, I would definitely go for making one of these ponds. There are reasons right now that I can't take on any big new tasks. I'll explain those reasons in some other video. The world of water. Do you know that the oceans can actually conform to a circular earth, ball, globe? Oh wait, that's a topic for a different video. The crazy people say water always finds its own level and seeks its own level. But of course, that's because of gravity that it seeks. And of course it doesn't seek, anything. It just conforms to the forces acting upon it. But let's not talk about nonsensical things when we're trying to relax and think about beautiful scenes, ponds in nature and in human civilization. The element water. The human soul resembles water. It descends from heaven. It rises to heaven and has to descend to earth again, changing eternally back and forth. These lines are from the poem Song of the Spirits Above the Waters by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Did I pronounce that right? Someone tell me. This book looks interesting because it actually goes back to all the historical and cultural significance of relaxing ponds, it appears. Baroque gardens, English parks. English gardens are relaxing, though they're a bit overgrown looking. An idyllic picture of late summer. Here we have. We've got a little too much algae growth for my taste on this one, but do you say algae or algae? Depends on whether you're from the UK, I would say, or Europe. Anyway, this is a very nice, relaxing scene. My problem is being so into marine biology and fishing and nature. I always think about what's swimming around down in there. What kind of little fish are in there? That makes it even more interesting to me. And other critters. I'm going to get an aquarium going once we've settled into one house, which we have not done yet. We're still working on it. I found a crumb on the table. My goodness. I might have to use the hand sanitizer now. Joanne makes me use this every time I touch anything because she's OCD about germs and bacteria, as I am, just she is a little more extreme about it. Ponds. A pond is a lake without depth, said the Swiss scientist Francois-Alphonse Forel. Forel is considered the founder of limnology, that is, the scientific study of fresh waters. We have ponds like this here in Oregon with flowering lily pads. They make white and yellow blossoms this time of year, and it's very peaceful and beautiful scenes. We have lakes that have these all around them. Many, many lakes. It's good to go sit sometimes. Fishing, yes, but also just relaxing and checking it out. Another Nymphia hybrid named Hermione. Isn't that the name of somebody in the Harry Potter series? Yeah. Look at this. A water lily pond in Bagatelle near Paris. This was during the Baroque period. Water was an integral part of the design of formal gardens for castles and mansions, it says. Here's a swan with some little swanlets. Would they be called swanlets? I don't know. Let me show you that a little closer up, if I can. I can't because the tripod, oh, there we go. The tripod's kind of in the way, you know. Pond models for large and small gardens. This is a little too artsy for my taste. I would prefer a fountain made out of something natural. I'm going to build a table fountain out of agates and seashells that we've picked up on the beaches of Oregon. And when I do that, I'll make a video for you about it. Purple Lithurium salaria. We have that around here in Oregon coast. Somebody was clever enough to light their pond and have a sitting area, but they have a ladder to go swimming, and I'm not sure I want to swim in waters that have lots of vegetation and algae in it like this. So I'm not so sure. It says here, a swimming pool with a wooden terrace. The terrace extends over the water, supported by pillars. The floating globular lights are connected to an underwater cable and use low voltage electricity, so you don't get a shocking experience when you're swimming, although there might be organisms in this water that could give you a shocking. I had a dream once where there were UFOs and they looked just like this, so it's reminding me of that dream. You know, I really love the ponds, and of course I'd have a sitting bench by mine too, but I think I would make it natural wood to blend in with the surroundings. I wouldn't make it tacky, chairs. You know what they say in poker? If you can bluff someone off their hand, he folded like a cheap Kmart lawn chair, right? I don't want tacky next to my beautiful pond. Is that a turtle? We had ponds where I used to live, and there were turtles in the pond. That's relaxing. A goldfish pool. Here's a fish called a biterling. Can I show you up close? Biterling. And it says that biterlings keep your pond clean. So I'll have to make sure that if I do build a pond outside, I get myself some biterlings. They eat insect larvae, including the dreaded mosquito, and they also feed on blue-green algae, or algae, depending which one you have, even though it's the same thing. A red-capped oronda. It's a goldfish that wears a hat. You didn't know that there were hat-wearing goldfish, did you? But it turns out there are. A swarm of goldfish. I thought they were called a school. Here they say a swarm. I'll have to take issue with their linguistic choices. The most popular fish for an ornamental pool. Here we have koi. They usually have more color variation, but they're in the goldfish family, and they can live for many, many years. I think some koi can live for something like 30 or 40 years, because they're so relaxed, I think. I was telling you before, keep your cortisol levels low and your stress levels low, and you'll live longer. Until the last year or so, I lived a very high-stress lifestyle, and it's catching up to me now. I would do it a little different if I could go back. That's a big flowering lotus flower. Nalumibo lutea. An exotic beauty, it says. Oh, who knew they would have a cat in here? You cannot teach a cat not to go after fish, it says. The house cat is catching their fish, and, a cat is going to do what a cat does, right? So what you're going to have to do if you have cats, or even neighbor cats, is you're going to have to provide cover for the fish to hide and deeper areas in your pond. Otherwise, you will have no fish. Around here we have lots of raccoons and things that will go after your fish also. A garden pool you can take a dip in, it says. But I don't really want to take a dip in the relaxation pond. That's not my thing. Here someone has a relaxing pond right outside their dining room windows. That's pretty smart. Patio pool, they call it. In this thing. Why can't I turn the page? Marsh garden. Here's just a really small one. I think even a small yard could support a pond. But you have to realize you're going to attract a lot of critters. So be aware of that. You're going to have raccoons and things coming around once you have a pond. Some critters are good, like birds. Some you don't really want. Raccoons can look cute, but if they get under your house, they're going to do a lot of destruction. They're going to rip out your insulation and mess up your pipes, all kinds of, keep you awake all night, banging around. Water time. Uh-oh, folks. It's that time of year when I lose my voice because of allergies. So now this is going to become a half soft-spoken, half whisper video. I just lost my voice. Here are a bunch of frogs croaking. That's a salamander. We have lots of frogs in this area. And in the spring and summer, we even find them hopping around in the yard because there's a stream right close by. How-to pond models. It's showing you how to set up the pond. You can have one on a slope or a raised pool even for a garden with rocky ground. I'm going to check some of this out later. I wonder if anyone's ever put a pond inside their living room. That would be kind of you made sure it was very, very water proof and watertight. Better to just have an aquarium. Building a pool made easy. Here's a Japanese stone lantern. It adds a certain cultural aesthetic to a pond. My grandmother was really into Japanese gardens, so she had a pond and had things like this around it. The little bridge thing, which they'll probably have further on here somewhere. I haven't gone through this yet, by the way. We're doing it together. How to build building a pool. This is for a big one. Excavate the pool cavity and check with the hose level if the edge is at even height all around. Adjust it to make it level. You want to put a liner in the bottom so you can keep the water in there and it doesn't all just soak into the ground. Now this doesn't interest me so much, having a little square pond in the middle of a concrete and tile patio. It looks better than not having one, but I like a more natural setting, don't you? Drainage tells you how to have. You need some kind of source to aerate and cleanse the water. So you're going to need some kind of drainage too. Oh, this is the kind of thing I like. We've got a cascading waterfall with stone coming down like this. I hope you don't hear all the vehicles in the background, guys, because it's afternoon instead of late evening. Usually I do my ASMR at night, which is why I couldn't say good evening, everybody. I really like this, although it doesn't show much shoreline access. It's kind of overgrown. Ecological reasons for creating a stream in your garden. I'd really want to have both a stream, a waterfall, and a pond if I was going to embark on a project like this. An idyllic Piedmont scene. I keep wanting to say that these scenes are idyllic, but you're going to get tired of me saying it over and over, so I don't want to overdo it. I really like this waterfall coming down into the pond. Something like this with a pond and beneath it is what I would like. And I would want the pond to be quite deep in some parts and shallow in others, to have a variety of water creatures in it. I like this one. Setting up a stream. This is really a very helpful book. Oh look, I got a little bit of my voice back. I can talk again for a little while into the Tascam. And then I might have to switch back to whispering again. Design ideas. Stones. People like lots of stones, but I think that's overdone, don't you? I want the natural pond. Japanese iris. these are blooming naturally out in our yard right now. Not planted, just wild, as are some rhododendrons. Somebody's backyard. Very nice. Constructing the pool's edge. A way to, look, there's a cat sitting there saying, how can I get this little fish hiding under me? A way to cat-proof the pool's border is to edge it with stone squares that jut out over the water. Makes it harder for the cat to slink down to the edge of the pond and snag, some fish. They can't reach all the way down under there, and they don't want to jump into the water, do they? This is like a Japanese bridge, in a way. I like this effect with the bamboo. That's creative. I'm not so sure I want cherubs in my lawn, in my garden and pond, though. They might be mischievous and wreak some kind of havoc. Water wheel would be cool, though. It would create relaxing ASMR sounds, don't you think? I think it would. A water wheel or a fountain, a little waterfall, all of those would make for some great ASMR sounds. Wooden bridge across the stream. Here are some bridge design ideas. Choosing the best green and flowering plants. We have some of those in our yard. I believe we do. I believe that's rhododendron, of which we have multiple varieties. We live in kind of the rhododendron capital of the world. We just had a thing called the Rhody Fest on the Oregon coast, not far from where we live. We saw these before. Very peaceful and calming. Also, if you're a fisherman, a couple of the lakes I visit have pads like this, and if you have a boat, you can fish on the outside of the pads, and there's usually some good warm water fish there to catch, like largemouth bass, for example. But there are some other species also. Ranapipians, that's the name of this little frog, favors the pool margins. He digs into the bottom mud for winter, or retreats into holes in the bank where frost will not penetrate. He has to stick himself in mud all winter long. Aren't you glad you weren't born a Ranapipians? You have to sit there and croak for a mate in the summer, and then bury yourself in mud all winter. Plants for the marshy zone. Cattails. Although I think it has a different name, Latin name. It says broad-leafed cattails. Tifia latifolia. Makes sense? Here's how to successfully plant your pond garden plants. I like the underwater plants, I think, myself. We have a lot of these in our area. Bladderwort, this one. I don't like the sound of that much. If you were a plant, wouldn't you want a different name than bladderwort? In fact, even the Latin name is bad. It's called the Utricularia vulgaris. It's very vulgar. It's vulgaris. How to, for doing all these different kind of plants. This is a great book because this gives you all kinds of specifics. How to get any of these plants started and going successfully. Animals in and around your garden pool. Spotted salamander. Oh, we see, this is a blue heron. We see a lot of these in our area too. Let me show you the blue heron up close. If I can. It's hard to do. There he is. Can you see him? I don't have the space to get this up under the lens, unfortunately. They're very patient. They will stand there like that for an hour until a little fish swims by. Then they make a quick move with that pointy beak and they get the fish. Pollywogs. Did you catch these as a child? I've seen these water striders. We used to catch them and grow them in a little home aquarium until they became frogs. Then we would let them go. That's a great little pond. There's a Polyamatus icarus visiting a flower. It's quite blue. Dragonflies. Don't get bit by a dragonfly, by the way. I love their metallic colors. They rival any of the best paint jobs on performance cars that are metallic blue or metallic purple or turquoise or red or variations. Dragonflies have those metallic paints on them, but I don't believe they have to be spray painted in a special booth to get those colors. Let's see here. Stickleback fish. Good for your pool. Lots of koi. You can actually make friends with koi and name them. They're pretty smart for a fish, actually. Trainable. You can get them to come on command, and they like to be petted eventually. Here are some fish that I might even get for a home aquarium. This is a sunfish or a bluegill or something. It's called a red-bellied dace. No. Left top, above. No, it's a green sunfish. Yeah, we have those in Oregon. We have bluegills, green sunfish, and yellow perch. Flourish in most of the lakes around here, both inland and on the coast. Here is a guy peeping around the corner at you. So, luckily you're human and not an insect. Otherwise, you'd get caught on a sticky tongue that would shoot out and get you. You wouldn't want that. Little work, all pleasure, it says, once you get your pond going. But there's more work in the fall and winter. Fighting algae without poison. Don't use poisons, guys. Okay, this is a beautiful scene. I think I'm going to have to end the video here because we're almost done with this book. Yeah. And I'm almost done with my voice. Besides, I'm going to go play a poker tournament shortly. And so I have to reorient myself from relaxing with this pond book to relaxing with a more activated brain that can think strategically. All right, so anyway, that will do it for today. Don't ASMR and drive. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.